Hi everyone and welcome back. This is part 4 of the mini-series going over cyber manipulation in Arma 3. In this tutorial we're going to be going over the function of add rating. Now if I just bring up my script here. So as you can see, we're just looking at the top lines for now. We're going to have a look at the more complex stuff later. So it's really easy to use, super simple. So all you do is you have your unit that you want to change the rating of. So it could be the player, it could be underscore this if you're using, I believe it's Zeus Enhance that adds the init box in Zeus. But if you're in the Eden editor, for example, you could just change that to this. You could change it to a specific player name, etc. And then you're going to type add rating with a capital R and then the amount that you want to modify it by. So if you add a negative, then obviously it's going to deduct it. So there's no separate function for removing or deducting rating. And what you want to keep in consideration, and I got initially confused about this when I first learned about this function, is 0 isn't neutral and it is friendly. But what you actually want to work around is negative 2000, and I don't know why it's like that, but negative 2000 and below is the point at which the unit that you're modifying becomes an enemy. Anything above negative 2000, so it could be negative 1999, is seen as friendly. And yeah, it's a little bit confusing to get your head around, but once you've played around with it a little bit, it starts to make sense. So just as an example, I could literally just put this anywhere in the mission, but I'm just going to put it in this guy for now. So this is going to add a rating to my player of 2000, right? Now obviously I'm already BLUFOR, so it's not going to make any difference. But if I quickly use the other function that we're going to go over in this tutorial, which is rating, which you can see here, which is even easier by the way than add rating. What this does is it essentially will return the number value of the rating of the selected unit. So for example, rating underscore this would return the rating of the unit I've put it in, but it could be rating player, right? So I'm going to copy that, I'm going to put it in my console here, and if I type that, you can see that the rating of player is 2000. Now if I added another 2000, or let's deduct 2000, right? And we'll do this in the console as well, just so that it's all in one area. And then if we go back to our previous one, which is rating player, we can see we're now at 0. Now if we deducted a further 2000, we're going to be at negative 2000, which should mean that I'm seen as an enemy to these guys. Let's try and deduct one more, might be what we need. There we go, it took a little while there. So yeah, you can see they've become enemy to me. I'm going to move away and heal myself. And my rating was negative 2001 in the end, which we can see by that, 2001. So if I add 2000 to this, or 2001, we can add, so we go back to 0. We can check our rating and we're 0 again, and now I'll no longer be shot at by these guys. This also works if it's within the group and for AI as well. So for example, if I just spawn a new team, there we go. So I'm now going to say, let's just say the team leader, right? We're going to deduct his rating. So I'm going to go into him. Because I'm using the Zeus mod, I can type underscore this. But if it was in a different example, you just put it into a script and maybe remote execute it on that person. Or you could exec VM and put that person's specific variable name in if you're doing it in the Eden editor. You could put it in the init box in the Eden editor or anything like that. But I'm just going to do it this way. So I'm going to deduct 2001 from this person's rating. And you see that they've actually been demoted from team leader, and now even his group will actually engage him. So it can be very dangerous if you're not using it correctly. So only use it if you know 100% that this is what you want to happen in your mission, because AI will see everyone as enemy. Now if I add his rating, so we're going to put his rating back up to 0. I'm going to put underscore this, not thus, this, there we go. And we'll heal him. Now the group or anyone else shouldn't engage him, unless it's obviously op4, then that's side relations, which is in part 3. But in terms of BLUFOR versus BLUFOR, that's no longer the case because we've changed that rating. Now onto a little bit more of a complex situation. It's not complex, but in comparison to what we've just done, it's a little bit out there. So we're just using an if then else statement, and you can get this script off of my GitHub, which is linked below. So you can use this directly in your mission if you can't be able to type it out or know it in depth. So all we're doing is we're going to get the rating of underscore this. So obviously you could set this to player, you could set this to a variable name like unit 1, you could set it to just this if you're in the Eden editor, but for my situation I'm going to use underscore this. So I'm saying if the rating of this, which is going to be whatever unit I've put it in, is less than negative 2000, then it's going to hint in a format %1, which is just a variable holder, of name this, which in this case could be SMBGS, it could be the unit AI, is seen as enemy. Else, they're seen as neutral or friendly. Okay, so I've just put this in the console here. So I've just changed _this to player. I just wanted to do it in the console just because all the other tutorials have been in the little init box, but the code works in the init box. It doesn't matter where you put it. So I'm saying if the rating of the player is less than negative 2000, then hint the player's name, or the character's name in this instance, and it will say that it's enemy. Otherwise, or else, it will say that they're neutral or friendly. Okay, so let's hint, and then let's see. So there we go. SMBJS is seen as neutral or friendly. Now, if I teleport away so I don't get shot at, I am going to deduct my score to negative 2001. There we are, less than 2000. So there we go. Now, if I do it, we can see SMBGS is seen as enemy. Now, you can do this for anyone. So, for example, I could put this code in this guy here, even though his AI is not a player. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to change... no, actually, this is perfectly fine because I've left this as _this. So if we pressed OK, there we can see that name. I'm not going to pronounce it, but you can see he's seen as neutral or friendly. Then if we adjusted his score to be enemy, so let's do that to negative 2001. And then if we do it quickly, because otherwise he's going to get shot at. I do it as slowly as possible, of course. There we go. He's seen as enemy, there we go, and he's been shot. So that's a very quick example of how you can utilize the rating and the add rating function in Arma 3, and it's a really handy one, especially if you want to do things like undercover ops, or you want to have a kind of BLUFOR versus BLUFOR situation going on, because obviously you could have people even in the same teams and AI will start engaging them. And oh, I've been engaged there because I forgot to up my score. But yeah, there's lots you can do with this, and it's a really fun little tool to play around with. So I hope you found this specific tutorial and the whole mini-series really helpful. They're not giving up on me, are they? If you do want to see specific things gone over, even if it's a whole series of tutorials or just a specific function, or maybe you want to create a mission and you're not sure how to do it, then obviously you can let me know in the comments below and I'll see if I can get to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.